I'm never gonna understand this. Hello. Welcome back to LnL Vlogs. I'm Lily, and if you haven't been here yet, then welcome to my channel. I upload every Saturday and Wednesday, and if you aren't new, then settle in. I have another story time for today. So I work in customer service or food service, whatever you want to call it. Basically, my job is to make people happy with the food I am serving them. I have to talk to them face to face the whole time, and it can be kind of stressful sometimes, and most of the people that I make food for end up being really nice or very understanding of the fact that they know that we're all human and we make mistakes sometimes. With that being said, today I'm going to be sharing the story of my nightmare customer service experiences. To this day, this is one of the creepiest experiences I've had in general, let alone at work. It was the beginning of my work shift, and my coworker was still in the back doing extra prep work for the lunch rush and stuff. And so in the mornings, basically, we only have a few customers here and there, so I was sitting in the front waiting for any customers to show up. It's usually just myself and the customer that I'm helping that's in the lobby in the front of the restaurant. This particular morning, I was wiping down counters and kind of just getting into my zone. I had just started my work shift, and it was like probably 10 a.m. in the morning, and I'm not really a morning person, and I'm starting to become more of a morning person, but definitely not a morning person, especially a couple months ago when this happened. So I was still kind of groggy. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was wiping down counters, and apparently this customer had walked in, this guy had walked in really quietly, and I hadn't like noticed him yet because I was still waking up for my day. And so I turned around from wiping the counter, and behind me I saw him, and I jolted back a little bit because he startled me because I didn't really hear anyone come in. So basically that already made me unsettled and kind of weird that he creeped in so quietly, and he was kind of just standing there staring at me, obviously waiting for me to turn around and start helping him, but just the overall vibe I got from it was kind of creepy, just already in the beginning. So after that initial jolt, I walked over and I started making his sandwich, and I got the bowl rolling with the whole order, and instantly, before I even actually got to look at this guy very much because I was focusing on the food, I just got this overwhelming wave of just unsettled emotion, and it was really weird. And I don't really face that feeling a lot with customers, so that was already unsettling to me. But I have no idea why I'm feeling that way at this point. So then I continue to make his sandwich, and this guy's probably in his mid-30s a little bit, but you can tell he tries really hard to take care of himself, in his face. He's one of those guys that definitely moisturize and stuff. Now, I have anxiety, so I understand those emotions and how they feel, but for some reason this feeling was completely different. But this unsettling wave of emotion was so intense that I don't know, it's really hard to describe for me, but it was just this very intense, uncomfortable energy that I was getting from this customer, and it was so weird. So I'm going through the motions and making the sandwich. I'm acting as normal as I possibly can, even though I'm slightly freaking out inside because I'm feeling all of this, and this guy is just getting more and more creepy. And you know how you just feel completely unsettled by somebody? That's totally how I felt. And this guy's just getting creepier and creepier. This guy just overall looks off. He's basically this white guy who's normal to average height. He's really pale. He's wearing these really thick sunglasses, even though it's pretty early in the morning, so I can barely see most of his face. And then he's also wearing this super blank baseball cap. But then he's also wearing this really nice cowl-necked sweater, even though it's the middle of July. But anyway, the way it looked you know how someone has lip injections and then they use a lot of lip balm or sheer gloss type of stuff to make them look more natural. Well, that's kind of what his lips looked like, and his face was just very, I don't know if he had some sort of work done because he was scared of aging or something, but his face just made me uncomfortable, and it was the weirdest thing. I usually don't feel uncomfortable by someone else's appearance. That's just, I don't know, it's the most random first time experience I've ever had with that. Each time I would ask him a question in relation to the order, his lips, like at the corners, would just turn up in the most creepy, like unsettling way possible. And it got to a point where every time I would have to say something to him, I knew he was going to do that with his face. And like, I didn't want to look at him. You know, when you like avert your eye contact and like focus somewhere else because you feel uncomfortable. That's basically how this was. So by the time I'm almost done, I feel so freaked out that I basically started sweating. My voice is doing that weird high-pitched squeaky thing, like kind of like a nervous laughter, but in words. You know what I mean? So I feel very uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure that he can tell I'm uncomfortable or not, depending on his next thing that he does. So I'm finishing wrapping up his sandwich and I ask him for here to go. And he looks at me dead in the eye and he's just standing there. And I'm waiting for him to tell me if it's for here to go. If I want to put it on a tray or put it in a bag with a napkin for him. So I'm waiting and he's standing there with like the creepiest smile. And like we make with this weird like slow motion time eye contact for like a good 45 seconds. And the whole time that he's doing this, nothing on his whole body or face or anything is moving except for his lips, and his smile is just slowly getting wider and wider and wider and creepier and creepier. And I feel so uncomfortable at this point. I just want to get done with this customer. I don't want to think or do anything. I just want to like go calm down. But I'm waiting for this guy to tell me what I can do so I can finish this fucking order. I kid you not, still holding this eye contact, he goes, in the creepiest, quietest voice possible, to go, darling. And it's the most unnerving fucking moment of my life. Instantly, my whole body got chills, and I just want to be done with this customer. So I finish up everything that I have to do. I ring him up, he pays. I'm as quiet as I possibly can. He has basically the same smile and expression on his face, which I'm convinced at this point is stuck there through some sort of plastic surgery or something. I don't know, something's just completely unnatural and off about this guy. Needless to say, after I got done helping this customer, I locked myself in the bathroom and nearly hyperventilated trying to calm down. That's the end of that story. It's time to light a candle. I'm gonna burn myself. Oh. I love this candle so much. Oh, it's messing up my lighting. Ooh. I love this candle so much. It's actually like a Glade candle, and it's the same scent that my favorite like air freshener is in. And I am so happy. It's so cute. I love it. Okay. Now that my candle's lit, I can tell the second story and be done with filming this video so I can upload it because I'm filming the same day. Because I don't have my shit together because I work constantly. Okay, let's get into this next story. My second and final story for this video is not so much creepy as the last one, but nonetheless still a shitty interaction. Basically, we're in the middle of our lunch rush, and I'm working with one other person. Now, as the people keep filing in, I noticed that this lunch rush is going to be taking a lot longer than I thought. With that being said, though, I do genuinely enjoy having lunch rushes because it's something to do. I get to push myself, and I love anything that challenges me in a way where I have to be more efficient and think harder about the things that I'm doing so that I can accomplish them better and faster. And I love always improving and challenging myself, so I really, really do enjoy the lunch rushes. Unless I have a customer like the story I'm about to tell you. I do apologize if the camera angle just changed. I accidentally just knocked over my entire setup of recording because I'm the clumsiest person alive, so yay for that. So basically, the only time I don't enjoy my job, I love my job. The only time I don't enjoy it is when I have to deal with the snarkiest, most rude ass teenage girls. I know, I'm a young woman. I'm a young teenager. Well, I'm not a young teenager. I'm an old teenager, young adult. But they just get to me in a way that I can't explain. I don't know. They set me off in a way that makes me question a lot of things about my morality. And this interaction is with one of those types of teenage girls. She happened to be within a family of customers that was basically in the middle of our lunch rush one day. She was a slimmer, skinnier white girl with brunette hair, and she had on these extremely large, rounded edge diva glasses, like the high fashion diva glasses, you know what I mean? I'll probably insert a picture to show you what I mean, the type of glasses she had on her face. And these glasses were so obnoxious that I couldn't see most of her face, but the only features I really remember at this point were her insanely overdrawn eyebrows. They were from here to there, and the arches were insane. I don't know, I have this thing with eyebrows where when someone has particularly unfortunate eyebrows, I happen to notice it constantly. So basically the only features I could remember were those eyebrows and the fact that she had fake eyelashes on her eyes glued so terribly and thickly, and they were just I don't know, they were like frisbees attached to her eyeballs. They were such thick and long and obnoxious eyelashes that she actually had to slide down her large sunglasses so that she could blink properly with the frisbees attached to her face. She was that kind of girl. This was the girl that I had to make a sandwich for. Now, this girl was the type of customer that talks extremely quietly, and then when you have to ask them to speak up or ask them to repeat themselves, they get personally offended. She was that type of customer. Every time I had to ask her something related to the sandwich in order to make it properly to her liking, she would start by letting out a huge sigh as if I was annoying her. Then she would proceed to purse her lips and her eyebrows for probably a good 30 seconds. In the middle of my lunch rush, she would sit there and be picky and take a good 30 seconds every time I had to ask her something. Then she would proceed to speak very, very quietly to the point where I could not hear her with the toaster and the microwaves and everything else behind me. And, you know, people actually speaking in normal tones around me, so I could not hear what she was saying because she was speaking very quietly. I would ask her, "What was that?" or "I'm sorry," as if asking her to repeat herself because I couldn't hear her. And she would reply with something in the tones of "I said tomatoes," or "Obviously I wanted that toasted." You know, just in a way where it seemed that I was personally trying to be rude to her by making a sandwich to her liking and asking her to tell me what she wanted. I'm never gonna understand this. Basically, it was like she expected me to read her mind and be upset when I had to ask her questions about her sandwich. That is my job, to make it to her liking. What? Why is it personally offensive that I have to make your sandwich to your liking and ask you questions about your sandwich, and you're mad at me that you have to say what you want? What the fuck? I'm just never gonna understand people who treat food service or customer service people in such rude manners. So these were my food service / customer service nightmare stories. I'm going to be uploading a second part to this video next Wednesday, so make sure to keep an eye out for that when I upload it next week and watch it. And if you watched to this point in the video, then thank you. And if you enjoyed my video, make sure you like and subscribe. I upload every Saturday and Wednesday. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.